What does it really take to become one of the richest people in the world? Is it luck, inheritance, or extraordinary business talent? Today, we're uncovering the untold story of Warren Buffett, a man who went from delivering newspapers to becoming the Oracle of Omaha, one of the world's richest billionaires. But behind every successful investment, every strategic decision, and every fortune lies an enormous price: sacrifices, discipline, and relentless hard work. So, can you afford the sacrifices Warren Buffett made to become a billionaire? Warren Edward Buffett was born on August 30th, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska. From a young age, Warren showed a natural fascination with numbers, business, and money. At just 6 years old, he began buying six-packs of Coca-Cola from a local store and reselling individual bottles at a small profit. By age 11, he made his first stock purchase: 3 shares of City Service Preferred at $38 each. Although the stock dropped to $27 at one point, young Warren held on to it, learning his first lesson in patience and long-term investing. This early experience would shape the foundation of his philosophy. While most kids his age were out playing, Warren focused entirely on numbers. He delivered newspapers, sold chewing gum, and collected pinball machines to rent to local businesses. Every dollar earned was reinvested into his small ventures. This was not play. It was a clear and purposeful pursuit of wealth from the start. As he became a teenager, Warren's passion for business only grew stronger. He hustled harder than most adults. One of his early ventures involved renting out pinball machines to local businesses. Each machine cost $25, and Warren paid local shops a small monthly fee to host them. At age 15, he filed his first tax return and cleverly claimed depreciation on his pinball machines. But it wasn't just about making money. It was about discipline. Warren studied relentlessly, reading every book he could find on finance and investing. While his peers went to parties or watched TV, Warren stayed up late into the night analyzing stock prices, reading annual reports, and preparing for the future. He knew early on, success was not for the lazy or the distracted. It was for those willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gains. Warren attended the University of Nebraska and later Columbia Business School, where he studied under Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing. It was here that his life changed. Benjamin Graham taught Warren a simple but powerful philosophy: buy undervalued companies and hold them for the long term. This wasn't about flashy deals or quick money. It was about patience, careful calculation, and discipline. After graduation, Warren rejected a high-paying job from his father's brokerage firm. Instead, he worked for Benjamin Graham's investment firm. Graham saw in Warren the same qualities that built a legend: humility, intelligence, and persistence. In 1956, Warren Buffett started his own investment partnership with just $105,000 in capital, mostly from family and friends. His first rule was simple: avoid unnecessary expenses. And so, he lived like a college student well into his 30s, reinvesting every cent back into the business. The greatest myth about billionaires is that they lived in luxury from the start. But Warren Buffett's story tells us otherwise. Even as his wealth began to grow, he continued to live a remarkably frugal life. He bought a modest Omaha home in 1958 for $31,500. Even today, decades later, he still resides there. No private jets, no yachts, no extravagant mansions. His sacrifices extended beyond money. Every waking hour was spent studying companies, reading financial reports, and making careful decisions. While others spent weekends socializing, Warren studied. He famously said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." His personal life reflected the same discipline. He married his high school sweetheart, maintained a simple lifestyle, and drove the same car for decades. These weren't signs of laziness, but deliberate choices to focus entirely on building something greater. One of the biggest turning points in Warren Buffett's journey came when he acquired Berkshire Hathaway, a struggling textile company. Rather than focusing on the failing business itself, Buffett transformed it into an investment powerhouse. He began acquiring companies like GEICO, Dairy Queen, and See's Candies, creating a diversified empire. Unlike many of his peers chasing quick returns, Buffett was patient. Years passed without flashy headlines or massive wealth accumulation, but his strategy was working. Consistent growth, careful investments, sound decisions. Today, Warren Buffett's net worth exceeds $100 billion. Yet his lifestyle remains simple. He lives modestly, donates the majority of his wealth to philanthropy, and focuses not on luxury but on purpose. So, ma'am, can you afford the discipline, patience, and sacrifices Warren Buffett made to become one of the richest men in the world? It wasn't luck, inheritance, or fast success. It was frugality, relentless study, careful decision-making, and the ability to delay gratification. Warren Buffett's story shows us that true wealth doesn't come from spending. It comes from sacrificing today for a better tomorrow. Tell us in the comments, what sacrifices are you willing to make for success? Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you for watching, and always remember, success is not measured by how much you own, but by the sacrifices you're willing to make.